Happy 4th of July, everyone. Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host, Sean, and we're going all-American today. We're going to talk about one of the most widely collected U.S. coin series ever in the history of coin collecting, and that's Lincoln cents. But not just any Lincoln cent. We're going to focus on one coin. And while this particular date has been talked about a number of times, there is one particular variant that not a lot of people know about, but maybe, just maybe, you guys should pay attention to this particular coin, especially those of you that are on the West Coast. So before we get started with today's topic, as always, I gotta do my YouTube thing. And if you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. In addition, hit the bell for instant notifications because I'll be doing giveaways all summer long, from gift cards to coins to silver. We've already had a really good start. We've had a lot of winners, and there's more to come. Think of it as just my way of giving back to the community, to the patrons, and to the subscribers. It is my pleasure to do that. So, the topic for today is the 1983 transitional Lincoln cent. Okay, transitional means that at one point or another, the composition of a coin, or perhaps the design of the die, has changed from one date to the next, and it just keeps going in subsequent years. So in 1982, all right, 1982 marked a specific time in U.S. coin history in which the U.S. Mint had decided to put the kibosh on what we have known as being the bronze or copper planchet coin. Okay, it's a little bit heavier in weight. If you were to hold one in your hand and then hold some of the newer coins in your hand, you could distinctly feel a difference in the weight. So keep that in mind as we discuss the coin at hand. But first of all, one of the most famous transitional coins ever to exist is the 1943 copper cent. As you guys know or may not know, the U.S. Mint had stopped the usage of copper in all of their coins in 1943. This mainly in part to save some of that composition for the war efforts. Okay, the U.S. needed all of the copper they can get their hands on for things like shell casings and, some of their machinery and vehicles used during that time. So there was a high demand for that particular metal. All right. So in 1943, the U.S. Mint had transitioned for just 1 year into a zinc-coated steel planchet. All right. As you can see right here, this is what the coin is supposed to look like. However, in the grand scheme of the transitioning and everything going on with the war, all right, there were a few errant copper planchets from the 1942 dated coins and earlier that was inadvertently struck in 1943 as copper when they should be steel. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been known for the longest time as being one of those coins that, if you were able to find them, have sold for many hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, there was probably, I think there was one example that sold for $1 million, one of the earliest found pieces. But all the other subsequent pieces sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right. Same with the 1944 Lincoln cent. By the time the U.S. Mint resumed back to this copper planchet, some pieces in 1944 were mistakenly struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet. All right, so there's a few kind of like notable transitional errors right there. Very expensive, very pricey. So here we go. We move up a few decades later. 1982 is the year. The U.S. Mint had decided to discontinue the usage of their 98%, 2% zinc planchets and went with a primarily copper-coated zinc planchet. We call these zincoids or zincs. Not the most desirable composition, You know, the coins, after a while, they'll develop bubbles and blistering on that copper layer, and then these things would just eventually get trashed. You see it quite often. But in 1982, the U.S. Mint had produced a wide variety of large dates, small dates, both the Philadelphia and Denver minted coins for a number of years, and you have your zincs and your coppers. So in 1983, all the coins should be this copper-coated zinc, all right, which weighs about 2.5 grams. The previous bronze composition was 3.1 grams. So in 1983, they should all be zinc. But again, much like the earlier 1943/1944 transitional period in U.S. coinage, in 1983, there were some coins still struck on the 3.1 gram bronze coins by mistake. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago that this really took off. People called it the 1943 transitional error 2.0. All right. Some of the earliest pieces have sold between $25,000 and $50,000. First few examples. Now, a lot of the coins that were discovered were Philadelphia minted coins. Okay, so there wasn't a whole lot else to find, and coin roll hunters were having a field day with this particular transitional because it rivals coins such as the 69S double die in terms of value. The 1970S large date double die obverse was another coin that was kind of like a straight comparison in terms of value. Now keep in mind, with the couple dozen Philadelphia minted transitional errors that exist out there today, much like you've seen on the pictures on the screen, there are only two known 1983 Denver transitional copper coins that have ever been discovered or subsequently graded. So a lot of people know about the Philly, but not a lot of people know about the Denver. Well, you can have it both ways. They exist in both the Philadelphia and now in Denver. There are only two examples in existence, one in which is available on eBay. So take a look at this particular coin right here. And this one right here is an NGC graded AU58 brown. This one is available from a seller by the name of Liberty Coins and Gold on eBay for $14,250. Now it is available. It hasn't sold yet. I'm surprised it's straight graded because I feel like the reverse with the carbon spots, you know, it's probably the least appealing looking coin out there, but nonetheless, it's one of only two coins that exist. This is a coin that conservatively would sell between $10,000 and $20,000. Now, if the grade were higher, obviously this would be a coin that sold for a lot more than $20,000, as some of its Philadelphia minted cousins have sold for in the past. But this is a coin that you should keep an eye out on. Okay, now for those of you that like to pocket change search, and the folks that coin roll hunt Lincoln pennies, is going to have a better opportunity to find this coin. Now the big key is having a good scale on hand. Okay, so if the coin weighs between like 3 grams and 3.2 grams, you're golden. You have a coin that undeniably is a bronze planchet 1983D. All right, and by all accounts, make sure you're looking for the Philadelphia minted coins too. But keep in mind that there are coins minted in Denver in 1983 that exhibit this same transitional metal error. All right, so just to recap, 1983, the coins are intended to weigh 2.5 grams, and they are a copper-coated zinc planchet. The one that you're looking for, the error, is going to be the 98% copper planchet for 1983. More specifically, the Denver. If I would feel that one example comes out that grades like Mint State 62 or 63, red, brown, or red, okay, that's a coin that says set records. It's going to beat all of the Philadelphia minted coins by a huge margin. Keep in mind, the reason why there are less Denver minted coins of this error type is that the quality control is really good at the Denver Mint in comparison to the Philadelphia Mint, which makes this one comparatively more rare, because I'm sure they've caught a few of these. But for your 4th of July, I wanted to bring out a coin that is just, again, another chase piece in a long line of various errors and varieties that you could find in your Lincoln pennies. Whether you're a pocket change searcher, you like going through your kids' piggy bank, or perhaps you like going to the bank and just slinging through many hundreds of dollars in Lincoln rolls. Keep this one at the top of your list when you're searching those coins. I want to thank you guys for joining in on this particularly nice broadcast. Hope you guys are having a nice, safe 4th of July. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. You guys stay safe. And whatever you do this long weekend, whether you're searching through rolls or spending time with family, make sure you're having fun. You guys take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day.